just running on a treadmill. You know, you're exercising with a sword. There's some thought behind it. There's some passion and spirit behind it. So it's a lot of fun. I hope, and I like to think, and, you know, I romanticize about things sometimes a bit too much, but I'd like to think the sword has kept him alive for a while. But he's a really, really passionate person in the film, and we have he's a big part of it. And then also another part of the film is the academics. I mean, we went to Oxford, and we talked to a lot of really good martial arts experts, and we talk a lot about, you know, historical European martial arts and how the gun basically kind of changed, you know, warfare, and how the sword evolved more into a sport and also into a symbol as opposed to just being a weapon. But getting back to the English history of it, when you look at the English longbow, which is a really amazing tool and a weapon, the accuracy they had with the English longbow, which every, you know, as I say, able-bodied male was to train with the longbow. The accuracy was so good they could hit a target further away than you could with a gun. I mean, they could really hit a target well. I mean, obviously with scopes and everything.
Oh, the compound bow, and I'm no big mastermind with the bow, but I've done some deer hunting with them. I can shoot like a sapling at 150 yards, that big around. You know, say I'm going to shoot that black, you know, knot on that tree with a target arrow and actually hit it. I mean, that's the thing, is they try to destroy the Second Amendment. We need to try to keep it, but also get good with bows, get good with swords. And plus it's a lot of fun, and fencing is exhausting, is it not?
Well, you know, I have to confess, I'm a filmmaker first and a martial artist on the side. I love doing the martial arts too, but you know, I'm not that great at it. You know, I leave that. But let me tell you about another project that could be really cool that we're working on. I don't know if you've seen Batman or Batman Begins or Dark Knight, but a lot of the fight choreography in that movie, I've been talking to some of the developers of that fight choreography, and I'd like to do another Reclaiming the Blade type movie with Husto and another guy. He worked with Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale. He trained Heath Ledger actually for The Dark Knight, and Liam Neeson as well. But there's some really cool martial arts of just hand-to-hand combat. And you know, a lot of your listeners may not know this, but they've actually seen the fighting style called Casey's Fighting Method, KFM, which was used in The Dark Knight and also used in the other film, Batman Begins. But it's just another interesting project.
Well, let's talk more about the film that just now is coming out when we come back. And Rob Dew, my producer's got some comments. I've been running on here. We really appreciate our guest, Daniel McNichol, joining us. I'm Alex Jones.
Silver is mankind's oldest natural antibiotic. This very special mineral has been used for centuries by most cultures throughout the world. Utopia, Texas is home to a small but mighty supplement company called Utopia Silver, who offers colloidal products produced in distilled water without use of animal protein, nitrates, or saline solutions. Because our colloidal silver is made up of nano-sized particles, it can be better utilized at the cellular level, and germs can't mutate to be resistant like they can to modern-day antibiotics. Utopia Silver has a broad range of health supplements, including colloidal silver, gold, and copper, with a money-back guarantee on the colloidal products we produce. For 4 years, Utopia Silver has been fighting in the Texas courts against agencies that would steal our God-given rights of health care and freedom of speech. Visit us today at utopiasilver.com. That's UTOPIA silver.com, or call 888-213-4338, 888-213-4338, and help us win this battle.
Hey folks, Alex Jones here. I'm sending out a special alert to all those out there listening with credit card debt and struggling to make payments. I'm going to give you a very important phone number. Due to a declining economy and credit crisis, you now have the power to settle your debt and lower your payments by up to 60% or more by calling the Bailout Group. This program has already settled over $100 million of debt and are saving individual consumers thousands of dollars. Folks, if you are struggling with credit card debt and those excessive interest payments, the time is now to take advantage of this opportunity. Call the Bailout Group today at 1-800-324-6554. I hope our listeners take advantage of this. The call is free, and in 10 minutes they will show you how much you can save right over the phone with one simple call. Let the Bailout Group bail you out of debt, reduce your payments by up to 60%, and save you thousands of dollars today. That number again is 1-800-324-6554. 800-324-6554. The Bailout Group.
Since 1991, the 7 Store has been helping you prepare in the event of an emergency. The 7 Store is unlike any company you have ever seen, offering a complete line of products that will prepare you for any catastrophe. At the 7 Store, we do something very different for our customers. Out of hundreds of preparedness companies in the United States, we are the only one who offers the most complete variety of preparedness items. From storable food, survival, terror, and pandemic kits, water storage, and self-reliant items, the 7 Store is your place for preparedness. The 7 Plan, our 46-page preparedness guidebook, is your go-to guide to help you prepare for the unexpected. You can get this book with no purchase or obligation absolutely free. For more information, please visit us online at the7store.net. That's the7store.net. Or call us today at 888-654-3447. That's 888-654-3447.
All right, we're going to try to hold Daniel McNichol 5 minutes in the next hour. Burma has huge breaking news on the swine flu genetically engineered bioweapon story. This is huge, and it's mainstream, hidden in plain view, and I'd forgotten about this when he pointed it out to me. So we have all these big scientists saying it was clearly engineered. We told you so. Big new developments coming up after I take a gamut of calls, opening the phones up again for those that were holding that we had to let go earlier, 1-800-259-9231, and a big news blitz of stuff I haven't covered coming up. But Rob Dew, I know you're a huge fan of this film as well. I mean, I hope this ends up being on TV. That's my next question. But any comments you've got about the new film out now, Reclaiming the Blade?
Well, there's a couple things I like about it. The intro is really amazing, and that'll really draw you in, and it gives you a historical overview plus a pop culture overview and how they kind of merge together. And then that it's what these guys are practicing is sort of a lost art, and people are trying to bring it back in because it is another form to defend yourself, and that's another great thing about it. You, with your sword, could go out and defend yourself, defend your family, defend your belongings, and that's how you proved your worth, is with the sword. And then it goes into, we've had this in Western cultures, we had this in Asian cultures, with their fighting style, and it seems like the common thing that ground them all together was that blade that they were able to use and defend themselves and defend against tyranny. And that's what I really liked about it.
Absolutely. And is this going to end up being on TV?
Absolutely, yeah. We actually have a wonderful sales agent, Lisa Romanoff. She's doing a very good job. We are going to be airing it on the History Channel, likely PBS and A&E, and there's some other contenders, which would be Discovery Channel, Learning Channel. So absolutely, we're going to definitely have some airtime for this on TV. No question about that. And then, but we're
even though it has a pro arms message. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think, the buyers are basically looking at dollars, and they're basically looking at filling slots, and they're looking for content. The job of any buyer, whether it's a retail buyer or a buyer who's finding content for TV, they're looking to fill slots, and they're looking for content that's gonna to be appealing to their audience. And so, yeah, I think for sure we should have some commercial TV. Actually, Mark Cuban wants to show it on HDNet. So but that's another place. We'll definitely do TV. TV is something. It comes down the line. Typically with filmmaking, you kind of do the theatrical thing, then you do home video, and then TV's kind of later down the line. And that's how we've approached it. However, I think for us, in our marketing, it might do us better to hit the TV a little earlier. So I would say this fall, look for it on one of these channels or a couple of these channels, and we'll definitely try to get it out there.
Tell us about some of the other things you've done, because this is a pretty big undertaking to get all these folks together and do such a great job. What other things have you worked on?
Well, if I could speak for a moment on filmmaking in general, I wanted to say this to your audience today. It was something that was kind of weighing on me before you called. I thought, that I just felt, that this was important, and that is filmmakers, independent filmmakers, that you love need to be supported. I want to just, say you produce some